Hello, Witch Shaving World. My name is John. This is episode 4 of Stubble Meets Steel on the long review series videos. Today I wanted to talk about the Gamechanger 68 closed comb versus the Rockwell 6C on the 3-plate. With razors, people can say, oh, it was mild for me, or I like the efficiency, but at the end of the day, I need a benchmark. What other razors would you compare it to? And how does that razor work for me? That gives me a lot better information as to if I'm gonna like the other razor. So I personally found that the Razorrock .68 closed comb was a little bit mild for me. So today I wanna compare it to the infamous Rockwell 6C on the 3-plate. I know that pretty much every wet shaver has a Rockwell of 1 or 2, and the 3-plate is a good benchmark for all of us to use. So I figured I'd start off with that. I was real torn. I wanted to do a 2-plate at first, but I'm like, that might be too mild. So let's get to business and see how this works. Today we're gonna use Ariana and Evans pistachio soap. If you haven't used this and you like pistachio ice cream, man, I don't know how they did it, but it even smells like the cone part of the pistachio ice cream to me. It's amazing. This is one of the first scents that I had got by them, and to me, in the premium artisans, this was one of my favorite brands for sure. It doesn't irritate my face, and the post-shave as well as the slickness is top shelf stuff. Here's a Gamechanger .68 with a infamous barber pole handle. I'm using, for my blades today, I'm going to be using the Sharp 7 AM Platinum blades. I got these in a sampler pack, and I admit, at first I turned my nose up to them, but I saw somebody said that they were awesome, so I checked them out, and wow, to me it's one of the best blades there is. I would say it's even a little bit sharper than the Perma-Sharp. So I really like them, and that's what I'm using both. Here's the Rockwell 6C. I've got a Italian barber handle on it from Razorrock, obviously. So let's get started. For my brush, I'm going to be using a PAA Star Wisp. It's a 26 synthetic knot. I'm used to using a little bit bigger knots, so this one I noticed that I've got a little bit longer than some of the other ones. Gonna add a tiny bit more water to that. All right, Gamechanger 68 with the sharp blade. Let's go. I find that the Gamechanger is a little bit easier for me to work with than the Lupo was. I'm sorry, not the Lupo. The Mamba. I have both the Mamba 53 and the 70. I didn't find them efficient enough, so I picked up the Gamechanger. But I find this angle is a little bit easier to work with on the Gamechanger than it is on the, almost did it again, not the Lupo. but on the Mamba series. Those feel real similar as far as smoothness and aggression side to side. If you blindfolded me right now and gave me one after the other, I don't know if I'd be able to tell them apart. Let's see. The Rockwell is one of the only razors that I can use right there on the Adam's apple without having to do anything. It's being an old habit, so I just didn't even do it that time and just moved out of the way. But with the Rockwell, I can go right over my Adam's apple. I'd say my only critique of the Rockwells would be a little bit hard to rinse out. I don't know why they did it that way with the 3 little slots in the back. They should have just done 1 large one or 2 of them. I don't know why they did the 3. I find it does get loaded up with cream a little bit easier than some other ones I've got with larger holes there. And I just don't love the handle on the 6C. It's not bad, but it's not a Razorrock knurling either. So that's why I just throw the Razorrock handles on them. I've got a couple of them. All right, pass number 2. As long as I choke up more, with smoother, more forgiving razors, I can go over the Adam's apple there. I wanted to try it right there with the Gamechanger. That's why I did that on purpose. To the other side. Gonna keep going with the 6C on this side. I was almost gonna try a feather blade. I haven't had much luck with feather blades. I know guys love them. I don't really find that they last any longer. And for me, they just tend to irritate me. I don't really find that I get a better shave or anything positive with them. I prefer these sharp 7AMs or the Perma Sharps by Gillette. But I was almost tempted to put a feather in the Gamechanger and see if that would bring it up efficiency-wise. So let's see if this Sharp 7 AM does any better than the Perma-Sharp did. Because I've already tried the Perma-Sharp in this. And it was sharper than the Gillette 365. The Perma-Sharp was, but it still didn't get it as close as I would have liked. All right, let's get the face wet, see where we're at with things. Feels very similar. Dare I say it, almost feels like the Gamechanger side might be a little bit more efficient. But that could have been technique, getting used to the angle from one razor to the other, switching back and forth. So let's see what happens after pass 3 here. I'm glad I went with the 3-plate. I was originally going to do this on the 2-plate, but I was worried if the 2-plate left too much stubble, that it wouldn't be a very good comparison. So I figured, let's see if a 3-plate does it. See how those compare. We can always do another video with the 2-plate. Looks like my neck got a little irritated, maybe a tiny bit right there from the Gamechanger. I tried a shim in the Gamechanger also. It definitely made it a little more efficient, aggressive. Made it a little bit less smooth, not over the top so, but noticeable. How about you guys? Have you ever tried shimming a razor? Did you notice anything positive or negative? All right, pass number 3 against the grain. Gamechanger's pretty smooth under the mustache. Against the grain there. That's always kind of a benchmark test for me for smoothness. That's where aggressive razors are a big no for me. Sounds like the family's home. Prepare for it to get a lot louder. All right, almost done. Curious to see how we wind up here. All right. Let's see. Well, I have to say I'm kind of disbelief. I think the Gamechanger maybe did a better job than the Rockwell on the 3-plate. I really didn't see this coming. I figured it was more comparable to the 2-plate. These 7 a.m. sharp blades are definitely sharper than the Perma Sharps, that's for sure. Do a little bit of cleanup here. Get a tiny little bit of a weeper-ish right there. A little bit right there, maybe. So I'll say that those 7 a.m. blades are definitely sharper than the Perma Sharps a tiny bit, but I didn't get nicked at all with the Perma Sharps. So as always, you got a trade-off. What do you want? A little bit of smoothness, forgiveness, or efficiency? It's hard to get everything. All right, let's go ahead and see what we got left in the brush. Put that on for my post-shave ritual. Thanks to Double Y. I leave this on while I'm cleaning up. I figure all that skin food, especially with the Ariana and Evans and tallow, let it soak in, condition the face, get the most out of the product. Just let it sit on the face as long as possible. And rinse everything out here. So I have to say, I'm quite shocked, really. I'm gonna have to try this again with the Perma Sharps and see if it's as close or not. Curious. Wasn't expecting it. I was really expecting the 3-plate to take it home. Go ahead and get rinsed off here. Change my mind, I'm gonna take the blades out first. You guys take the blades out of your razors? I always do. Give them a little rinse. And I kind of hold the tab like that. And I just kind of flick the water off. And I usually set them back in the wrappers. And then I'll write on there with the Sharpie on the wrapper how many shaves I've got on them, that way I can keep track. Because I've told myself a million times, oh, I'll remember, but then once you start having 3 or 4 or 5 blades and a bunch of different razors, yeah, I don't remember how many shaves are in each one. It's a lost cause. Little witch hazel. Today you got the lavender one. It's just in this bathroom, so that's what I'm going to use. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate your time. Surprised by this review, and I think that the Gamechanger really held its own. The Rockwell 6C on the 3-plate is pretty much my benchmark for almost everything, and yeah, those Perma Sharps were sharp, but I'll have to do this again because I'm really quite curious. I even tried the 0.1 millimeter shim inside the Gamechanger, which technically should bring it close to a 0.78, 0.76, something like that, kind of, sort of, because there's a little bit more to it than that. And even that, I don't think was as efficient as this blade. So I'm gonna have to retry this and see what happens. What do you guys want to see next? I think maybe I'll take the Gamechanger up against an Edwin Jagger DE89 or something like that and get another benchmark razor and see how it performs against that. All right, sounds good, guys. Thanks again. Take care.